of the good blog I found, so I'll use that. So basically, this blog talks about absolute versus relative paths in Linux, and basically what is the difference. Okay. During my one-on-one, I asked a few people to kind of copy, remove a directory from some other directory, and all those things. And I find people were a little bit uncomfortable about the, what do you call, the absolute and relative path, and it's something which is very very important. Okay. So in basically Unix, right, a path is how you refer to files and directories. Okay. So every file or directory will have a path. You guys are able to hear me, right? Just let me know.
Yes, sir, we
Yes, sir.
can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So path is how you refer to file and directory. Path is also same in Windows. It's, but since you're mostly working with mouse, as in you seem to not recollect it, but path in Unix and Linux, of course, it gives you a location of file directory. So typically for a path, you will have this kind of syntax. Okay. This is root, and forward slash is used to separate out what are the internal directories and external directories. Typically you'll have this home. So in your case you will have home something trainee and then whatever directories you create, right? So let me just show one of the path here. Just a minute. Okay, so let me go here. Okay, so typically you will see this, right, as in you will have something like home and trainee. Okay, so this means there is a root, that is first forward slash means root, as in that is the root of whatever tree which is there in the directory structure, and then within that there is home, and then there is CentOS. So CentOS is my username. You will typically have trainee 1, trainee 2, whatever your trainee number is, that will be username. This is nothing but basically, as in when you click on this home directory here, this is same as this home CentOS. Okay, so let me open this. Within this, you will see, okay, I see all labs, AMD 64, all labs, basic document. And if you see ls, do ls here, you will see this, all labs, all lab basic. And this is just for, like, say, if I go into, let's say, all lab basic, I see this CNTR, MinSoc, VCS, these files, right? And if I go into CDC, all lab basic, this is, let's say I do PWD. What is this? This home, CentOS, and all lab basics. So basically, I was in this CentOS directory. Now I have come into all labs basics, and you can see, right? Like if you compare this with Windows, right? I started with home here, and then I double clicked and went into this, and this is where I've come. And this is so basically your path is separated by these forward slashes. Okay. So this starts from root. So every directory, every file will have a path. Okay, so let's say path of, I have a file here, this min.associate.gz. So the path of this will be, if you want to say starting from root. Okay, then all labs basic and this. So this is a file. So it has a path. What this means is first there is home at topmost of the tree, then there is CentOS, then there is all labs basics, and then there is this file. So this is the what is known as full path of this file. Okay, so let's come back, let's just come back to the blog which we're looking at. So every file in Unix, every directory in Unix, everything will have a path, and this path is very very important, and you can link it to Windows as well. When you double click, you go inside that directory. Okay, so as a user, right, when you're working, when you want to access a certain file or directory, you have to give the full path, or you have to give the path to access this. So I had given you an exercise, right? You are in current directory, and then there is a temp directory inside it, and you have to delete a file inside that temp directory. So in order to delete, right, you have to give the path of that direct file. So for example, here there is this script for this home Abhishek scripts my scripts.sh. This is the script. Okay, now you want to run a cat command on this, and maybe you are in a different directory. So you have to give the path of that file. So from anywhere you can do cat on that file. Okay, So from anywhere, it does not matter where you are, what is your PWD, what is your current working directory. As long as you give the path, you can do this. Okay. So path starts with slash. The first slash means root. That is root of the tree. What is the meaning of root is? This is root. Within the root, there is home, then there is Abhishek, then there is script, and there you will see this file. So if you think of Windows terminology, right, there'll be a root. If you double click on home folder here, then you'll start seeing Abhishek. You double click here, you'll start seeing script, and you'll start seeing my script.sh when you are in script folder. Okay, so your folders or directory are separated by this separator, which is forward slash separator. So this is a separator. Okay, slash is the separator, and each of the slash is a separator, and within between the slashes is kind of a directory typically, and last will be a file or a directory. Okay, now this is absolute path. So what do you mean by absolute path? When you give a path starting from the root, so it starts with forward slash, that means you are giving the path from the root. If first character is forward slash, that means you are giving the path from the root. Then this path is known as absolute path. So this is an absolute path. Okay, so basically you are giving a path starting from forward slash. It's an absolute path. It's an absolute path starting from forward slash, starting from the root directory. Now Unix also allows you to give what is known as relative path. Okay, what is a relative path? For example, let's say I am in this directory, Abhishek. Okay, within that there is script, and within that there is my script.sh. Okay, now what are the multiple ways to give this path? One way is you'll say forward slash home slash Abhishek slash script and slash myscript.sh. Since it starts with this root, it is an absolute path. But let's say you are currently in this directory Abhishek. Within Abhishek there is scripts, and within that there is myscript.sh. So you can also give path corresponding to your current directory, and when you give that, the path will not start from forward slash, it will start from something else, which I'll show you, and that is known as relative path. So let's see an example of a relative path. So let's come here. Okay, so I'm here, right? So let me go here. Okay, now within, we had seen this file, right? We had seen this file. So where is this file? This file is, if you give C absolute path, it starts from home, then CentOS, all labs basics, and then minsoc.tar.gz. Now let me check what is my present working directory. My present working directory is home and center. So basically I am inside this directory. Okay, now within this directory, I can give a relative path. What I know is I am already in this directory. Within this directory, there is this all labs basics, and then there is minsoc.tar.gz. Okay, so how can I give that path? There are two ways. I can just say all labs basics minsoc.tar.gz, and I do ls. It still shows me that file, but I did not use starting from this slash. That means I did not give absolute path. So what I gave was a relative path. So corresponding to the directory which I am in currently, I am in home CentOS directory. In my directory now, it is relative to which directory I am in right now. I am in home CentOS directory. Relative to this, there is all labs basic, and then there is minsoc.tar.gz. Another way of saying that is dot forward slash. Dot means current working directory. So both are equivalent. This and this are equivalent. Dot means current working directory. Dot forward slash means current working directory. Any question on this? Some people had confusion. Is that confusion clear, or anyone has questions on this? Please feel free to ask. Okay. Now let me say, okay, I go into all labs basics, right? Now, if I want to talk about give the path of minsoc.tar.gz, again, it's a relative path. So I'm already here. Okay. So from here, I'm already here. That means this file is now in my current working directory itself. So I can just do this or this, both are equivalent. Okay, so is now the path thing clear? And absolute and relative path, is that also clear? uh, Bharat, Nihal, Nikhil, Jaditya, Bhargav, Himanshu, is that
Yes.
clear? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Anshul. Anshul, you have a
Yes, sir.
question? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
clear.
sir.
It's clear.
Okay, good, great. Okay, so this is what I meant by absolute and relative paths, and this is very, very important. So as I said, right, dot is current working directory. If I do ls dot, it will show me what is in the current directory. Then there is another shortcut known as dot dot. Dot dot is actually parent directory. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so I'm in this directory. So my dot dot will be what? I'm in this directory, and hierarchy of directories separated by space. So if I do dot dot, it will actually be this directory, home center. So I am in this directory. Parent directory of this is known as this. So if I do dot dot, ls dot dot, it will show me what is the content of home CentOS directory. So let me see that. Okay. So what I see is when I do dot dot, I see this addition dot sh and all these file. And let me just do home CentOS. You can see these are same. So dot dot is nothing but one directory above in the tree. What is meant by one directory above in the tree? I right now, let's say I'm in this directory. One directory above is this. Okay. Okay. Does it make sense? So let me come back to the, so this now is clear, right? When we say absolute path, the absolute path starts from forward slash, and basically let's say I want to give absolute path of my script.sh. I can give, if I want to give full path, absolute path, I'll give forward slash home slash abhishek slash script and my script.sh. So that is starting from this slash, so it's an absolute path. Or if I am in this directory, Abhishek, then corresponding relative corresponding with respect to that, what is the path is within that Abhishek, there is scripts. So this is scripts and my script.sh. So this is how you can give relative path. And I said there is two ways to give. Dot slash means current directory, you can give that, or you can just directly write this way. Okay, so if I now ask you, okay, you are in this directory, Abhishek, home Abhishek directory, and I want you to delete my script.sh in your script directory, you can just say rm scripts my script.sh, just give a relative path, and you can delete that. You don't have to cd to that directory. Okay, so this is what is mean as. Okay, now the other keywords which I already talked about, let me
Sir,
recap. Yeah.
sir, I'm sorry. Like I lost connection. So like, if this was already cleared, I just have a doubt.
Yeah, tell me.
So like, you were showing ls dot as listing contents of the current directory, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point of using that when you can just type ls normally and it will list the files in the current directory? Like basically ls versus ls dot. Like,
So dot is just a shortcut for current directory, and dot dot is for parent directory. So for what is reason you might use dot? Let me think. It's just a shortcut. You can do it without dot as well. Uh, just a minute. Yeah, I don't see any particular reason why you would not directly do or do dot, but dot dot is useful. Dot just is a shortcut for current directory. It's a
yeah,
special.
I can
Yes.
see dot be useful in other situations, but like in ls, I just usually
Mhm.
type normally ls.
Yeah, that is also equivalent. So ls by default works on current directory, and dot. Yeah. So as in there are some commands where it may not be useful, but these are just the shortcuts which are there. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay, and dot dot denotes parent directory one level above. So let's say you are here in Abhishek, dot dot means home. Okay. Now, this relative paths can also be used to go from one directory to another directory. Let's say you are in now this directory Abhishek, and you want to go to this directory Prakash. So what you can do is cd. So one way to do that is give full path, home, then for slash home and Prakash. See, that is one way. Or the another way is you can give a relative path that I'm in Abhishek. I'll go one directory up, cd dot dot and forward slash Prakash. So that is another way. So let's see that. Okay. So let's say there are multiple, just a minute, there are multiple directories here. Okay. So let's say I go in CNTR directory. Okay. So I am presently in, this is my full path, home, CentOS, all labs, basic and CNTR. And what is one directory up? There is this directory min SOC and there is this CNTR. Now let's say if I want to go to min SOC directory, one way to do that will be I will type full path, home, CentOS, all labs basics, and then I will do min SOC. You can see I have to type so much, right? But since another way to do that will be I will just use relative path. So what is my parent directory? This is dot dot and min SOC. That is another way to go to that. So if I type this, I will come here. Okay. There is another shortcut. If you do cd minus, you will go back to the previous directory. Okay. So I was in min SOC directory. I did cdc minus. I came back to counter directory. I will do cd minus again. I will go to min SOC directory. So that is another shortcut which can be used. So dot dot is for parent directory. It avoids us using absolute path. Cd minus you can use to go to previous directory which you were in, which was the previous working directory. And typically you use this with tab. So I've shown you how to use tab. Tab, when you do tab, it will show you autocomplete what are the directories there. You can show type tab, it will show you all the directories there. So you can use that to navigate. Okay. So